Our time in Taurus season is coming to an end, my friend. Let's talk about what is going on in our sky right now, this week, and what it is asking of us. As always, we're going to talk about our moon and who it's hanging out with this week and where our emotional energy is going to be. So stay tuned if you want to hear about who our moon is hanging out with this week and how that is going to affect you. This is your Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of June 5th. Hey, my friend Danie Simoni's here, your spiritual healer, helping you heal your past, present, and future. One of my favorite things to do is to help you remember who you are, why you came here, and we do that through the lens of astrology. And so I'm super excited to be back again with you this week for another sidereal astrology forecast. Okay, let's get into it, my friend. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get this baby going because it is time to talk about astrology. So, last week we had our full moon in Scorpio. Did you feel that energy, my friend? Oh, it was pretty good, pretty juicy. Really good stuff there. Let me know in the comments if you felt that full moon energy we had on Saturday, even lingering into Sunday. And it's kind of finally tempered down a bit, but we are moving into our last full week of Taurus, and then we'll be moving into Gemini next week on the 16th. So stay tuned for that because we'll be talking all about Gemini and what to expect in our Gemini season coming up in a future video. But let's go ahead and talk about where our moon's going to be this week and really who we're going to be seeing kind of hanging out together as we move through this week. So kicking off this week, the very first thing we always want to look for is where is our sun. So that is our circle with the dot right here, where you'll see my little finger there, my little mouse finger hand. I think that's cute. But it is at 19 degrees Taurus. And so we split the zodiac signs up into 30 degrees. So we've got about 10 more degrees, which is why we'll see another about 10 days or so of this energy. We've also want to go ahead and look at where is our moon. Our moon is down over here in Sagittarius. So kicking off this week, we are kicking it off in a fire sign in the adventurous, freedom, loving, exploring energy of Sagittarius. Sagittarius loves, it's a fire sign, so it does love to take action, loves to get things moving, loves to get things going. It's more of the learner, of the seeker type energy. And Sagittarius is known for having all the information, right? For knowing it all because it's seeking information. So you may find that kicking off this week, you are seeking some information. You are looking for something. You are looking for insights. You are looking for a way to do something. And oftentimes it's going to be something that is going to take you out of your normal routine. So if you've got a routine that you're consistently doing, right? This Sagittarius is asking you really to change it up, right? To do something different, to take a different perspective, to take a different viewpoint, even to simply take a different path to work, to the grocery store. If you go walking, maybe take a different hike, right? Or a different walking path, something different. Because when we go somewhere different, we have a new experience and we encounter new things. And that actually helps our mind. So, my friend, if you're getting stuck somewhere, go take a walk, go somewhere different, take a different pathway, and see what you find. The other thing I want you to take a look at really quick is before we move into the rest of the week, as the moon will be in Sagittarius on Monday and Tuesday. I'll go ahead and move it over. But I just want you to look for a second, even if you know nothing about what this means. If you came to this channel and you're really curious about astrology, but you have no idea what any of this means, I just want you to look and just kind of just take in what this looks like right here. Just you can already get a sense of kind of what is going on just simply by taking a look here. That's the really beautiful thing, is we can sense things, right? And with this, you might even start to feel like, there's a lot going on over here, right? And you might not understand what that means. That's perfectly fine, my friend. But you may notice that there's a lot kind of over here, and then there's like a couple of things together over here, a couple of things together over here. This guy's all by himself over here, right? You don't have to know what any of that is, but you can kind of like get a sense of things are kind of a little all over the place, not fully, but there's a little bit of that condensed energy up there right now in our Aries energy, right? We've got all this energy right in here in Aries, but you also notice these guys over here kind of balancing us out a bit in our Cancer and our Earth Capricorn energy. So if we move on to Tuesday, you'll see we are still in Sagittarius, and then we will be moving into Capricorn late Tuesday into Wednesday. And I want you to notice here, right here on Wednesday, we've got this beautiful conjunction with Pluto. So this really will be taking place late Tuesday night in through about midway through Wednesday. And we'll also see this opposition here with Mars and Venus in Cancer. And so when we see things, when we see conjunctions with Pluto, we know that there is some change coming. We know that there is some type of change or some type of transformation that Pluto, right? Pluto's always asking us to look deeper, to uncover, and to transform. And so as we're looking at them, when the moon comes by it, it's coming from an emotional level. So there's a change occurring on an emotional level this week. And because we are also talking about the moon, we are talking about home, we are talking about family. So there may be some things that are wanting to change up within our home, maybe physically, but also emotionally, right? Maybe there's a change in the energy we're looking for in our home, or maybe we're being pushed to make some type of change in our relationships within our home or with our family, right? Not just the people we live with, but even our extended family. Maybe we're being pushed to do something different, to to act, to approach things differently. So this Pluto and Mars coming together is just a really good time to just kind of take a look and see like what is going on. Now, I will say with the opposition to Venus here, there's a couple of things that could be happening here, which is why I really want to bring this to your attention. Is when the moon is in opposition to Venus, and again, this happens every single month. This is nothing new. It happens every single month. There is this desire for companionship. And so there can be some tensions in relationships. You might have heard me say this in a past video where I talked about the moon in opposition to Venus. And I usually bring this one. I don't usually bring up all of the oppositions or all of the sextiles or all of the squares. I usually don't bring them all up unless they're really, really important. But this one, I tend to see a lot of things happen when we're dealing with the moon and Venus and with the conjunction of Pluto. Definitely want to say that there could be some tension already here because of that moon and Pluto happening, that there's a transformation happening now, whether we want that change or not, right? It's happening. And whether we're anticipating this change or not, it's happening. And so there could be some buildup that is happening in our relations, in particular with our home and family, and more so with our relationships with women more than anything. And that really is like if there's been some problems in the relationship or there's been a little bit of tension, maybe building up to this full moon, and maybe now even beyond that, there's still things that are kind of lingering. Maybe there's some frustration or some anger. This is really kind of causing some more of that to happen. And we've also got this opposition here, right? with Mars. And so because of this opposition with Mars, we could have a easily triggering moments, annoyances that normally we maybe not have. We might be moody or short-tempered. And so because of that, right, we easily get triggered into something, or we easily get frustrated with something. And it's like, how come I can normally deal with this? How come I can't deal with this right now? And it's because this tension here is asking us to make some type of change, right? Whenever there's two people in a relationship, there's two people in a relationship. I say this all the time. It's not him or it's not her. It's not her, it's not her. It's not him, it's not him, right? Whether this is a romantic relationship, whether this is a mother, son, mother, daughter, father, son, whatever it might be. Maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's a parent, whoever it is, there could be, right, some of this tension that has been kind of simmering, and it's asking us to do something different. And we have to look and say, well, there's two people in the relationship, so there's something that I have done as well as something that they have done. And so those of us here that are watching this channel, if you follow me for a bit, or you've been in any of my classes or teachings, you'll know that I'm a big proponent on taking your part in whatever it is. It's that self-awareness and having that as an opportunity, right, to stay empowered in our decisions and in our actions and what we do. And so when we're looking at something like this, we want to look at it and say, okay, there's something happening. There's a way for me to do something different, to be called to something better, to greater, higher, right? So we can tune into this energy and make this change in our life so that we can have a deeper relationship with this person, whoever this might be. So we've got that going on Wednesday. So I want to give you that Tuesday into Wednesday. You really might be feeling that energy. And then we're going to move over to Thursday. Oops, there we go. Thursday. So Thursday, you can see here, we're still in Capricorn, and we'll be in this Capricorn energy from Wednesday to Thursday. So we've got that conjunction with the moon and Venus and Mars, and then we'll move into kind of, some Aquarius, which is more of a air energy. So it's an air energy. So it's more thinking, it's more thought, really good time to spend some time thinking about new visions, about new ways of doing things, researching. Air signs are always really good for researching or brainstorming, just kind of coming up with the idea. It's really not the energy to get into work and to do some things. It's really the energy to kind of explore some thoughts and some things. And then we'll see the moon come into conjunction here with Saturn. Saturn's been in Aquarius for a bit now. And so when we see Saturn and the moon, there comes a bit of a seriousness to our emotions. So I want you to think about this. Like, we've kind of been having this buildup and maybe some turmoil, maybe some frustration and some annoyance, right, happening in our relationships, in our homes, in our families. And we're wanting this change to kind of happen. And now we come to Saturn, and Saturn brings, there's the seriousness. I often say it can feel like Saturn brings a dark cloud over your head, and it's like no matter where you go, it's like it's rain, right? There's no matter where you go, it's rain, it's dark, it's not where I want to be, right? So there could be some more negative emotions. You could feel like everything's maybe against you. Even we can fall into a little bit of that victim mentality here, especially as it relates to home and family, because we're talking about the moon, right? So as it relates to home and family. Now, this can also, depending upon where this is happening in your natal chart, this might happen in different areas for you. And in order to do that, we'd have to really look at your chart specifically. But I can tell you that this time over here, this week, there is going to be a bit of a roller coaster, and it's kind of like we're going uphill, right? Like, how the beginning of a roller coaster, you're going like up, and it's like my most dreaded part of the roller coaster is when it's slowly going up that, and you can hear it, and it's just annoying. So it's like that. We're going up that pretty much all week. And then by the time we get to Friday, it's like we're at that top, ready to start coming down. but we're not quite coming down. It's like we're there, and it's kind of like we get stopped, like right as we're about to come over. And then once we hit into Sunday, you'll see over the weekend, we'll still be building into that. We won't come over just yet. And then finally on Sunday is when we'll drop down, and that's when we hit into Neptune, and we'll move into Pisces. And Pisces and Neptune energy, that's all very, very intuitive energy, very creative energy. It is a dreamy imagination type energy. This is where we get more into our emotional energy. So we've been in our fire energy of Sagittarius, that action energy, that kind of building up. We get into Capricorn, which kind of digs its feet in a little bit, right? It's an earth sign. We get into Aquarius, which is more of that researcher, brainstorming, thinking type energy. And then we come into our emotions coming in on Sunday, and we'll be moving into that energy Sunday and Monday. And so when the moon is conjunct Neptune, though, there is an increase in our emotional sensitivity. There could be some confusion. Things could be really confusing with Neptune energy, especially as it relates to our emotions. I often don't recommend making really major decisions during Neptune, especially with some of this connections with Venus and Pluto. If you're dating, be careful about lowering your standards. That can also happen during this time. Is like, oh, you're just wanting like to hang out with somebody and to be with somebody, and it's like you'll lower your standards just because you're wanting that compassion, or that connection or companionship with somebody. So one of my major tips for you here is going to be your conscious self-awareness. So if you've been doing the work, as I like to call it, if you've been doing the work and you've been working on yourself and you're becoming more self-aware, aware of the things that you're doing, aware of your thoughts, aware of how you're creating your reality, right? If you're conscious of that, the easier it's going to be for you to filter out what is not making sense, right? And what is here, what is rising to the top for you to make a shift in, for you to make that change in as we're moving through this really kind of tense energy this week, right? So we can filter that out. Now, if we're on the unconscious level, so probably not you, but maybe people outside who do not watch the shadow, right? Maybe outside the outside world that aren't working on themselves, that aren't being consciously self-aware, right? They may easily fall into this. And so this is up to you to be able to notice that and to be aware of that and be like, okay, they're trying to process something. Pluto's asking them to make some type of change, and they're not ready for it, right? Or they're resisting it. They may not even know what to do. And we can just have love, compassion, and empathy for them, right? Send them lots of love. Just be mindful that is theirs, that is not yours. All right, my friend, that is our Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of June 5th through June 11th. And let me tell you, my friend, we are ending our Taurus season, as I said, so you can still get our Taurus guidebook. So if you want to know more about Taurus and kind of what's been going on with our planets this season, you can get that. It also has essential oils that you can use to help balance this energy. We've got some crystals to use, and we've got some rituals for our spring season. Next week, we will have our Gemini guidebook out. So if you sign up to get the Taurus guidebook, you will automatically get the Gemini guidebook as well. And this one will have new rituals in it for our summer season. So you'll definitely want to get those. So we had the spring season, the past few zodiac signs. Now we're moving into summer towards the end of June, right? June 21st, we'll have our summer season begin. So we'll have some summer rituals in there for us as well as I didn't mention journal prompts. We have weekly journal prompts in there that you can get to help work through some of this energy to really have that self-awareness and really start doing that work on yourself. If you're somebody that loves journal prompts, whether to journal with them or to meditate on them, then I definitely recommend that you download our guidebook. And so you'll see that down in the description box. All right, my friend, that wraps this up. As always, remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath. And release. And find peace. Bye.